Okay, so let's just redo this again. So this is an example of man hate in the anime fandom and the control freakery that people have over men. This is just pure misandry. They think they're entitled to police the male imagination. Okay, so let's just get on with this.
Rei Ayanami has hands down the most contentious fandom in all of Evangelion.
No, she doesn't. What you on about? What does the contentious mean? Like, she's not controversial at all. Okay, she's fine. Okay.
In fact, despite her overwhelming popularity in Japan and considerable popularity in the West, the obsession EVA fans have of her has been considered a symptom of ingrained cultural misogyny and emotional regression.
So basically, misogyny means men liking fictional girls. That's what it actually means. So this is more proof that there's no such thing as misogyny and the word is invalid. Okay, if it's not being used in the context that means hatred of women, the word is invalid. It's meaningless. It's a complete non sequitur. So you like fictional women, therefore misogyny. What doesn't make any fucking sense. And also they're trying to frame it as emotionally immature. Men liking what they like apparently is emotionally immature. But women can like Twilight and their shitty romance novels and their shitty soap operas, right? Full of emotional turmoil and drama and conflict, right? They can like what they like, but men can't. Yeah, this is just trying to stigmatise nerds, male nerds. Yeah, there's no such thing as a female nerd, by the way. Just to let you know.
According to Schizo Evangelion's editor, which is an anthology comprising of several Gainax employee interviews and essays written about the series, Oizumi Mitsunari said the following: Rei is a sacrifice offered to all the Japanese mama's boys and sadists.
So, okay. So, they're talking about sacrifices? Like, they're victimising fictional female characters. So, Rei Haminami is sacrifice. So, they probably mean objectified somehow. So, men liking fictional women is a sacrifice, and they're sadists for liking this. Alright, can you tell me again what sex reads romance novels for rape? Which sex frigs off to true crime stories? And which sex really loves horror movies even more than men do? Remind me. Okay? So, yeah, so liking a fictional character's sadism. What? What? Did the person make this comment? Does he get off statistically on Ray? Is he projecting? But this is weird. This is a contempt. This guy got gained status, made a living from servicing this fandom, right? Became famous enough to be interviewed for a book, yeah. So he obviously made a good living from it, right? And he's just shitting on the fans that he made his living from. Total ingratitude.
And to further parallel this claim about Rei having an appeal to those with arrested emotional development, series creator Hideaki Anno claimed that Rei's popularity with Japanese youth was a result of a stunted imagination originating from Japan's defeat in World War II.
So this is a complete non sequitur. So if you don't share my taste, you've got stunted emotional development, right? That's whatever that. So that's purely subjective. So I don't like football, right? Okay, I don't think anyone who likes football's got emotional stunted development. I just don't relate to it, right? And this stuff about Japan being defeated in the Second World War and it was emotionally stunted, okay, because of it, blah blah blah. That's just a non sequitur. It's just gibberish, right? I didn't know Anno was such an idiot. To be honest, I've lost a lot of respect for him, and I've lost a lot of respect for him since he made the rebuilds. That shat over his legacy. The rebuilds are absolute trash. So Japan has a conformist work culture, right? It's got lots of socially isolated men, okay? It's got a demanding education system, and lots of men don't get to socialise, right? They don't get to form relationships, so they end up isolated. It's not emotional development, it's isolation. So you're victim blaming the men here. And I do think mole culture and obsession with waifus stems from a socially isolated culture. Men are trying to get what they don't get in real life from fiction. They're trying to get solace from that. It's not their fault.
Since that time, the education we received is not one that creates adults.
So he contradicts himself here. The ending of the Real Build movies is where Shinji becomes a workhorse slave and has a girlfriend wife. That's the ending to the rebuilds, right? That's the ending. Okay, so yeah, and that's what the Japanese education system actually creates with its overwork and overeducation. So he's not making sense, right? So what do you want that to be? For everyone to become a great artist, or to become quote unquote emotionally mature somehow, or to quote unquote have better taste? Like, dude, you made absolutely trash rebuild movies with bad taste, and I'm going to do a video about this on another channel. Why your rebuilds are shit. I know they're shit. They're shit.
In other words, Hideaki Anno and Oizumi Mitsunari find that Rei's appeal as a character is misguided and embraced for the wrong reasons.
This is the level of entitlement these psychopaths have, right? Okay, so you like something, but how dare you like it? You can only like it for this and this reason. I tell you what to like and for reasons to like it. This is absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Like for example, I find that Asuka worship weird because she's an obnoxious character. She's interesting because of her ego breakdown and her narcissism, right? She's a complex character, but she's the worship of her is terrible. It's terrible, right? Is she worshipped for the wrong reasons, right? Should I tell people why they should like someone? It's ridiculous. I don't have that level of entitlement.
Essence, you're not supposed to like Rei.
I don't give a shit whether I'm supposed to like Ray or not. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm to like? Fuck you. Get fucked. Yeah?
As someone who finds Rei to be their favorite character, I was clearly confused by these attitudes, so I went down the rabbit hole of Rei Ayanami's history and biography in order to see if the elements of her character that I enjoyed the most were the ones that were being criticized by both critics and developers of her character. What I learned, however, was that indeed, you're not supposed
to... So, it goes, sex sells. So, the people who sell a sex, right, sell the sex of anime girls and give the fan service, then attack the people they sell this stuff to, right? This is pure hypocrisy. This is a typical male attitude, status-seeking male attitude. They gain status from servicing males, and then they shit on them, right? Very, very common.
To like Rei, at least not in the way that her popularity would suggest, because her acclaim has been largely due to a set of characteristics that are degrading and show a dark collective consciousness among Japanese millennials and weebs abroad.
So they're degrading. What? Right, so she's a vulnerable girl. She's fixated on Gendo because that's her parent figure. She's attached to him because of that. He's like a mammal. Yeah. Right. Okay. She dies, she gets cloned, right? And then she turns against Gendo at the end. Okay? I don't see what's degrading about this.
Hello Funkers, Tony Funk here, and today we're going to explore the disturbing reality behind Rei Ayanami's popularity. And then despite that, we're going to defend her, not because of the attributes that made her popular in the first place, but because beneath the surface, she is the most fascinating and uniquely written character in Evangelion.
No, she's not. She's interesting, but Asuka's more interesting, and Shinji's more interesting, and even Misato's more interesting. And Gendo's very interesting, right? They're very psychologically apt, in my opinion. Now, the thing is, you're not The thing is, fans get attacked, right, for being misogynistic, and you think you've got to defend the fictional character from the attack, not the fans. There's something wrong with your head, right? Like, you do realise, right? You're the weebs getting attacked. You're the misogynist who likes Rei, right? Doesn't matter how much time. She's a deep, complicated character. You like her because she's pretty, okay? It doesn't even have to be a sexual thing. You like her because she's pretty. Rei's got beautiful eyes, and she's a clone of Shinji's mother, who's actually a very beautifully designed character as well. She's actually the most beautiful character in Evangelion, second to Misato, in my opinion, right? For my subjective tastes, okay? Right, and Shinji's actually very beautiful as well. He's one of the more beautiful characters in Evangelion because he's got very beautiful eyes, and he's basically a femboy. He's a female. He's not just a femboy. He's a female based on Nadia. His character design's a copy and paste of Nadia, right? The creators even admitted this. Yeah, so you can find Rei's got cat-like eyes, which are absolutely beautiful. In some scenes, they're absolutely beautiful. Okay, the thing is, if anyone first of all, there's going to be teenage boys who are going to be watching the show, And your sexuality doesn't really change when you get older that much. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with finding her sexually attractive. It's a fictional character, right? There should be no shame for this. Women frig off and fantasize about all sorts of deranged shit. That's far worse. And also, they scream and gush over teen idols without shame. I've seen 40-year-old women and 30-year-old women scream over like 16-year-old pop idols. And these 16-year-old pop idols look like 13-year-old boys. Like women look like gushing over Justin Bieber when he was 15. And no one shames them for it. Nor should they. Yeah, it's their fucking business. It's their fantasy life. Yeah, this policing what men enjoy is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The rest is just gibberish. Just it's not even good analysis of Ray. He just doesn't understand the character on a basic level. So we can ignore that. Let's look at the comments. It irks me so bad to see Weaves reduce her into some sort of submissive chick solely for fan service. So this person's upset that fans fantasize about her in the way they want to fantasize about her, right? Okay, she was never made submissive in the show. Okay, what she was obsessive and dedicated. She wanted to please Gendo, then she turned against him, right? And she was actually very brave, and she was actually not submissive because she slapped Shinji in the show when Shinji criticised his father. She slapped him, right? So that's not submissive. Okay, so you're talking shit. Now fan service changes the characters, right? Fan made content changes the characters. So fan made content. Asuka's a nicer person. She's more Mo, right? But also in the fan made content, they make Shinji more assertive, more manly, more confident, right? Okay, that's how fans content works. Okay, so it's so creepy to see people reduce Rey to a submissive, naive, helpless girl. It's so goddamn creepy, it's disgusting. So, did I reply to this? I got removed. So, this loser is upset that men are fantasizing about what they're fantasizing about. Right? It's irritating just to think that so many people only like characters with Rey for sexual reasons and fan service. Okay, so how dare you like what you like? Again, this insane entitlement. You like what you like, therefore you're open to attack. This is pure insanity. This is pure misandry. This has to be rejected out of hand. I reject the complete. This is just basically a feminist concept of objectification. It's vague, nebulous, and there's no rules. Basically, how dare men like what they like? Yeah, fuck you. Okay. What is creepy is people who are adults and attracted to waifu statues in the art of Rey and Asuka, who are very easy to forget she's a high school kid, as is Asuka. So this is more concern trolling over this. But this attitude is not harmless. This is people pushing for more and more censorship. This has led to censorship of fictional adult female characters in video games, getting them covered up. And you can't buy statues. In some countries, you can't import statues, anime figurines from overseas because I think you can't get them in Australia. They just banned them, right? And lots of other companies have stopped selling this stuff overseas due to pressure from credit card companies as well, right? They've blocked this. So this actually is actually harmful, and this should actually be pushed back against. Yeah, how dare these people police the male imagination? How dare they? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think there's some more, but it took ages to find them. So yeah, I reject this framing out of hand completely. Men can like what they like, and fuck Anno, and fuck the Gainax staff and creators of Evangelion, right? For the disgusting attitude, yeah, the hypocritical attitude. They're like drug dealers who look down on their customers, right, and think they're scum when they're the drug dealers themselves, right? Okay, except here, there's no one being harmed, right? That's the difference. The analogy doesn't quite hold up, but you know what I mean. It's like They look down on the people they serve, but they create the content themselves. If they were so principled, they wouldn't make this content, or they'll disown it, or they'll stop selling it. If Anno was still so hung up on these men having arrested development, he wouldn't have made the shitty rebuild movies, right? That removed all the complicated subtext that were just gibberish and bad CGI battle scenes and over-designed characters, yeah, and horrible 3D model animation. Garbage. How fucking dare you look down on your own fans, you piece of shit? Alright, I'm done anyway. Oh,